Hello everyone, welcome to Q&A number 3. On Wednesday, I asked you guys to leave me some questions, and I would answer them just because I was sort of out of video ideas, and I thought, I haven't done a Q&A in a long time. This is Q&A number 3, as I said, so the first 2 Q&As I did, I think around 3 years ago or something like that. You can go check those out, they're older. I just thought it'd be a good idea to do it again because, like I said, it's been a while. So yeah, anyways, if you left a question on the video from Wednesday, I'm gonna include it in this video as a screenshot. Every person that left a comment, you're gonna see it, screenshot of your question on here with your name on it. So you're also gonna get a shout out, obviously. So anyways, I'm just going in the order of the comment section here from not the newest comments, but what's the phrase they use? Sorry, let me see here. You can sort the comments by top comments or newest first. So I put it by top comments because some of them have a thumbs up. So they're totally in random order. There's a total of 28 comments, and some of these comments have multiple questions. I haven't looked at everything. I've seen a couple, and some have multiple questions. So I will be answering everything, hopefully. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but anyways. So if you guys left a question, I hope I give a decent enough answer. I don't know. So anyways, the first comment here from Jamie Arata: what is your favorite thing to snack on while watching a movie? I've never been a real particular I've never had a particular snack to eat while I'm watching a movie. I just eat basically anything. I like all kinds of food. I know the go-to answer is popcorn. Sure. I mean, I'm not big on popcorn really. It's not really back in the day, I would buy popcorn and when I would go to my parents, to a movie with my parents, they would buy me popcorn. But once you start going by yourself and you start paying by yourself, you realize that food at theaters is very expensive. So, I didn't really go with buying popcorn at movies because it's just so expensive. So I sort of fell out of that. So when I was a kid, I loved eating popcorn at the movies when my parents were paying for it, for me. But afterwards, but if I'm at home, I'll just eat whatever, anything. I don't know. I don't have anything in particular. So yeah. Film Stone reviews. What are your top 5 favorite directors? I notice you all the time on my videos. I appreciate you watching all my videos. Top 5 favorite. I should really do a video on this. I don't have okay, I can name probably 5, but not the correct order, I would say for sure Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese. I probably put David Fincher in there because I think he's awesome. Sergio Leone. And I don't want to miss an obvious one. Okay, obvious ones would be Alfred Hitchcock. I guess Tarantino. Nolan is good too. Spielberg is good. I was just thinking of one. I totally forgot it. Who was the one I was just thinking of? I was gonna say is my 5th one actually. I'm drawing a total blank. Oh, Ridley Scott probably because he did Blade Runner and a bunch of other great movies. I'd probably say Ridley Scott because he's kind of underrated if you ask me. He doesn't get brought up in the conversations of greatest of all time when he should be, considering he did Alien, Blade Runner, Gladiator, a ton of great movies, Thelma and Louise. I would say those 5. So Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese, David Fincher. Who was the 4th one? I'm already forgetting. Ridley Scott was the 5th one. Who was the 4th one? But these aren't in order, like I said. Who was the 4th one I said? I'm totally blanking now. Jesus. Oh, Sergio Leone, sorry. Yeah. Next one from Alec Bird. 3 questions. What's the scariest dream you've had? What's your biggest fear? And are you excited for Wonder Woman 1984? I'm going to answer these totally out of order, sorry. Yes, I'm excited for Wonder Woman 84. I'm probably going to go see it on Christmas Day just because I've never seen a movie on Christmas Day, gone to the theater on Christmas Day to see it. I think that's actually a cool idea. And plus, theaters are, struggling, so... yeah, I'll go see that. I am excited. Wonder Woman was a great movie, so... what's your biggest fear? I'm not really afraid of a lot of things, believe it or not. I always like to give the example Like, if I go to a theme park, I go on every single ride. Like, I'm not scared. I've never had a fear of any sort of, like, ride, like a roller coaster, anything. Like, I just go on anything. I don't care. I always thought that was interesting. Like, even when I was little, I was never afraid of a ride. Yeah, I don't know. But, like, now I'm, like, older, so I'm more afraid of, like, an actual concept as opposed to, like, an actual physical thing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid of heights, which is, like, a physical thing. I'm afraid more of, like, the concept of, like, not being successful in life. That's, you know what I mean? Like, sort of like a metaphorical fear. Like, I'm afraid of not succeeding in life, you know what I mean? Like, not doing something I like for the rest of my, you know what I mean? That's my biggest fear, is failure, I guess you could say. And then, what's the scariest dream you've had? I actually had a nightmare the other night. It was kind of weird. I can't really go into details about it because it's actually kind of like a personal thing, but it was kind of it was a weird dream, because I actually have something going on currently. I might mention it someday. I don't want to mention it right now. It's not that big of a deal if you ask me. Some people might think it is. I have a thing that's been going on for, I think, since November. I can't talk about it, really, but maybe one day I will. But it played into my dream, and I woke up. It was a nightmare. Like, it literally woke me up. I was, like, so scared. But it was a weird dream. Like, it was a cool thing was happening, and all of a sudden, this real life thing, which I know I'm being totally vague, but this real life thing came into it, and I just, oh my god, I was so scared. It was a recent thing. I don't know if I've had any dreams, like, I can remember that really scared me, but that was a recent one, so that's my answer. And if you guys are wondering, what the heck am I even talking about? I'll probably talk about it one day. I just gotta wait for all the dust to settle. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. Next question. Are you excited about the upcoming Spider-Man 3? With all the recent announcements regarding it, are you nervous about the film because it might be another messy Spider-Man film? From the Legally Blind Critic, and I notice you on my comments all the time. I have so many jokes about this. Spider-Man 3 is literally shaping up to be, like, Avengers Endgame Part 2 or something. Like, that, on that scale. Like, each day, it seems like there's more news coming out. Like, Charlie Cox is coming back as Daredevil, supposedly. Tobey Maguire's coming back. Andrew Garfield, Doc Ock, Electro. Apparently, Mary Jane's coming back. Like, there's so much craziness surrounding this movie. And it's going to tie into Doctor Strange 2, and it's going to tie into, like, maybe the Spider-Verse with Venom and Morbius. Like, it's a crazy thing. Like, I cannot wait to see what it is. Like, it's going to be a year from now, next December. Man, I'm already pumped for it, but I don't want to get, like, too crazy, because it's a year away, you know, so I don't want to, like, you know, and God knows, God forbid, things might get delayed a couple more months again, because, I mean, they just announced the whole slate for next year, for Marvel, the next 2 years, actually, so things might end up getting pushed again if theaters, you know, if things don't go back to normal soon, so I still hope it's going to be coming out in December, next year. Doesn't get pushed any further, but yeah, I am more than excited for that movie. I don't think it's going to be messy, because I think Marvel Studios does a good job of balancing a lot of things in their movies. Like Endgame, that movie is very well balanced, and there's so much in it, you know? But anyways, yeah. Next one, Joey's Movie Blog. What is your favorite 4K Blu-ray? I really don't know if I have a favorite. The Blade Runner Final Cut looks fantastic for how old that movie is, considering. Oh, I already know. Blade Runner 2049. That is probably the best looking movie I've ever seen. Like, it looks so perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I first saw Avatar in 2009, like, especially at that time, it was like, wow, this is the best looking movie ever. Like, it just is. And I think Blade Runner 2049, you know, it came out a full 8 years later. And, yeah, it's just even better. Like, I mean, I like that movie more anyways. So I sort of have, like, a bias towards it, I guess. Yeah, Blade Runner 2049 looks perfect. And that 4K is spectacular. So I'll probably go with that, actually. Raul Ramirez, what was the film that got you into collecting and basically being passionate about films? Excuse me. No, I actually did, earlier this year, I did a podcast with somebody. His name is Harland. I have a video on my channel about it if you want to go check it out. The link is there to go listen to it, I think. And I remember talking to him about it. He, like, asked me, like, how did I get into movies and stuff like that, like, you know, being a huge fan. Basically, the short version is I started off with horror movies, like, I think it started mostly with Jason and Michael Myers, and then I became such a huge Chucky fanatic, and then into Freddy Krueger, and, you know, it was basically horror movies that started it. And then I sort of like the idea of, like, all the different movies and all the people involved and how they tie into each other and stuff, and that just led me into other movies, and it was just a big, like, thing that started. Like, it mostly started with horror movies. That's why I have, like, such a huge appreciation for that genre. I feel like a lot of people get into movies, you know, via horror movies. That was the gateway for me, I guess you could say. You know, like, for example, Silence of the Lambs is an Academy Award movie, and that's sort of a horror movie, and that sort of led me into different avenues of, like, ooh, Oscar-worthy movies, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's just, yeah, it's just a weird thing. Next question, Barry Lyndon. Nice t-shirt, bro. Favorite AC/DC song and album? I was wearing an AC/DC shirt in that video. My main question is, when did you first start collecting physical media? Yeah, favorite AC/DC song and album. My favorite song by AC/DC is, it's probably something from Back in Black, because it's probably You Shook Me All Night Long. I love that song. I remember when I first, like, really got into AC/DC was in middle school, probably like 7th grade. I just fell in love with that song in particular and the music video. I thought it was awesome. I don't necessarily have a favorite album by them because I've never listened to, like, honestly, any of their albums from beginning to end. It's mostly, they have certain hits from each album that are, you know, famous. And they have a new album out too, by the way. I haven't listened to it, but I guess it's supposed to be good. I don't know. I just love the fact that they're still making music. It's kind of funny. And Brian Johnson, he had a hearing problem, but he's still doing it. That's crazy to me. Those guys are, like, the definition of, like, legends. I don't really have a favorite album. It's probably, I would just say Back in Black probably has my most favorite songs, you know, like, the most amount of songs that I like out of any of them. But I do need to listen to, like, all their stuff, you know, because AC/DC is awesome. And when did I first start collecting physical media? Man, that's another one. It started, like I said, when I started really getting into horror movies, I was, like, sort of just, I was like, I gotta get them on DVD, because this was before streaming services and all that stuff. Like, I remember back in the day, my family, we used to get Netflix, because back in the day, Netflix was totally different. You would get DVDs in the mail. Like, they would mail it out to you as, like, a rental. You could watch it for a couple days, and then you gotta mail it back. Like, that's how it works, believe it or not. They still do that, actually, which is kind of crazy. People still actually do that. But we would get DVDs from Netflix, and, like, you know, and then I was like, wow, one day I'd love to own a lot of these movies, you know. The first DVDs we ever got in my house, I remember this, it was from the same year, right? The original Spider-Man was from 2001, right? Or 2002, I can't remember. And then the Fast and the Furious, that movie's 2001. Those two DVDs, I can't remember which came first, like which one we got first. But those were the original two DVDs we had in my house, I remember. And I thought they were so cool because they had tons of special features and, you know, I think both of them had 2 discs and stuff. And, yeah, I still have them somewhere, actually. I just could never part with those because they're the original, you know, DVDs. But, yeah, I don't know. It just sort of, you know, as I became more of a movie nerd, I was like, I gotta have them, you know. And then eventually Blu-ray became a thing, and at first I was sort of opposed to Blu-ray. I'm like, oh, I don't want to buy movies just for higher quality. I was so naive back then, because watching DVDs now is like, it's like a joke. I mean, if you like DVDs, that's fine. But, like, we're at 4K now, and 4Ks look spectacular, you know. And steelbooks and all that stuff came later on for me, you know. I was just buying standard DVDs for the longest time. I've been collecting for most of my life. Like, I want to say, like, 14, 15 years I've been buying, you know, with my allowance money at the time when I was younger. I would buy movies. We used to have a movie stop. Remember movie stop? Like GameStop? We had a movie stop over here that was close. I would go there all the time with my allowance money and buy movies for really cheap, you know? Like all the essentials, like the essential titles. Like I remember I got Scarface with the slipcover there. I thought that was so cool, the 2-disc DVD. Yeah, I would just buy just tons of movies, you know, from starting really in middle school through high school, through, you know, becoming an adult. Yeah, anyways, don't want to go too long in this video. I'm already at 15 minutes. Next question, Tony Stark. What's up? I love you, man. You're always on all my videos. You're making great content, too. I know they asked this a million times. How old are you? When is the Funko Street new season coming? Keep up the good work, my man. My Total Recall Steelbook has been delayed too, unfortunately. Yeah, I got mine 3 days late. I hope you got yours by now, because, Jesus. Yeah, lesson learned. I'm doing store pickup for a good while now, because I absolutely loathe when things come late. I hate it. But I understand right now, holiday season, also with COVID, and, you know, I feel so bad for the people working for the Postal Service. It's just crazy. I don't know if you're joking, I don't know if you were telling a joke there, with the Funko Street thing, because, you know, I ended that. That's over. If you guys don't know what that is, that's a stop-motion series I made. You can go look at that. I've talked about it enough. The new season coming. I don't know. Anyways, how old am I? I'm actually gonna be, I hate saying this, because, I mean, it's not even that old, but to me, it's like, oh my god. I'm gonna be 25 years old next month. Yeah. Anyways, I'm an old man. It's okay. My age still starts with a 2, so it's okay. Not for much longer, but, anyways, yeah. It's so crazy to me. It just feels like each year is just going by faster and faster. I don't like it. Next question, Matthew Castellanos, whatever. I see you on my comments all the time. I have a couple to ask as well. Can you rank the A24 movies? Can you do a NECA figure collection? What are your recent tattoos? Have you decided on whether you'll buy a PS5 or Xbox Series X? Okay, I'm going to answer these out of order. The tattoos thing I mentioned in the Wednesday video, I actually released part 2 of that, of my tattoos, the day after. So I have that. I did that. You can go look at it. I put that video out on Thursday. Can you do a NECA figure collection? I actually decided recently to take all my figures off of my desk, because honestly, it was taking up way too much space. I actually found a better spot to put them in my room. Actually, it's my bookshelf over here. They were just taking up a lot of space, and like, it was getting a little out of hand for like me trying to film stuff right there. Like, I didn't have much room to do anything. So I kind of decided to move them, but I might do a figure collection eventually. That sounds like a good idea. Can I rank the A24 movies? Now, here's the thing with that. I have seen nowhere near, you know, their entire filmography. Like, I've only seen, like, the main titles, not even all of them, you know? Like, I've probably seen a good, I dare say, only 10 A24 movies or something. I don't know. Maybe I've watched a little more than 10, but they have a lot of movies, and I haven't seen, you know. So one day I will do like a huge video about it, because I'm sure I'll watch all of them eventually. But I can't do that yet. Have you decided on whether you'll buy a PS5 or Xbox Series? Okay, here's the thing. I've mentioned in a ton of videos, I'm not really a gamer anymore. I honestly don't know if I'll even ever buy one of those consoles, but I'm really considering getting one like next Black Friday. That way it'll be cheaper and, you know, much easier to get, because right now it's like, you know, like apparently PS5s are like selling like hotcakes, from what I could tell. And I'm a PlayStation guy, so, you know, I'm most likely going to get a PS5. But I'm also waiting a year to see, like, what people are saying, like, which console is better, you know, over the course of a year, you know, what the general consensus is. So if I do get one, it'll be next year on Black Friday. Maybe, not a guarantee. And it depends on what people say is better. I'm not totally opposed to getting an Xbox. I've just always been a PlayStation guy, you know. But who knows? Next question, Dominic Hernandez. What was the last movie you saw in theaters? Who was your all-time favorite director? When did you first discover Paris? Do you have any other favorite bands? Apple Music or Spotify? If Spotify, what's your username? Favorite musical score? What was the last movie you saw in theaters? I think the last one I saw, me and my family, we went to see Monsters, Inc. at AMC, because it was a $5 thing. We just went because we wanted to go, like, because we hadn't been at theaters in so long, and it's like a fun little, you know. I hadn't watched Monsters, Inc. in a very long time, actually. Like, I know it's on Disney+, but I never, you know, like, watched it again. Like, I probably haven't seen Monsters, Inc. in, like, a good, like, over 10 years. Like, no kidding. I'm being serious. So, yeah, it was $5, so we went to see it, and, yeah, it was, I really noticed how great the movie actually is, because last time I saw it, I was very young. Yeah, it was just for fun. And that was, I think, in October, I think. Yeah, but I'm going to be seeing Wonder Woman on Christmas, most likely. Who is your all-time favorite director? I think it's Stanley Kubrick. That's my go-to. But if I'm being, like, honest, I might just say Martin Scorsese. I don't know. It's like it's neck and neck between those two guys. Stanley Kubrick is definitely more of like a insanely genius, brilliant mastermind kind of guy. Like, he has so many crazy things in his movies, like details you would never believe. And then Martin Scorsese is definitely more of like, in terms of his longevity and like all the different things he's done and how, you know, all the iconic movies he's made and his style, and it's neck and neck with those guys. I can't really pick one. When did you first discover Paris? I have a much longer explanation of that in my my first tattoo video. If you go look at that one from like 2 years ago, I tell the whole story about how I discovered Paris on that, because, you know, one of my tattoos was Paris related. So basically, though, the short version, I discovered them in January of 2018. And it just happened. I mean, actually, okay, I'll try to be quick with this. The first time I discovered them was one song. It was a song called Fire from White Noise, their first album. I was a big WWE fan at the time, and one of their pay-per-views, I think it was Extreme Rules, used that song as their theme song for the pay-per-view. And I thought it was a really cool song, so I went and looked it up, and I listened to it, and I thought it was awesome. But I was stupid, and I didn't look at the rest of Paris's music. I didn't like look at everything else. So that was mistake number one right there. So I had that song Fire on my library on my phone for the longest time. Like, I would listen to it, you know. That was in 2016. And then all the way in 2018, January, a couple months after they released their second album, they had a song, What's Wrong, which was like the main song from that album. It was on the radio, and I heard it, and I was like, wow, that song's really cool, and it's Paris. Oh, I remember Paris. And then I discovered them. So, yeah, it was just an unfortunate thing where, you know, and I also found out, I actually still have yet to see them in concert, you know. I was at the Warped Tour 2015 in West Palm Beach, Florida, and they were there. But this is a year before I even knew them at all. Like, I could have saw them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was at that Warped Tour all day, and I could have saw them. You know, it's just kind of funny. But yeah, I talk about them all the time in my videos, so you can go search on my channel for different things, like how I got the mirror, and it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Saying I'm a mega fan is an understatement. Do you have any other favorite bands? Yes, Avenged Sevenfold right there. I had to flex because, you know. Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold, the Beatles, Fleetwood Mac. I was lucky enough to see Fleetwood Mac in 2015. Nothing is ever going to top that concert for me, because that was just a once-in-a-lifetime thing. That was unbelievable. I had floor seats. The tickets were incredibly expensive, but I had to do it. But yeah, Led Zeppelin, mostly rock music. You know, I'm such a huge rock fan. Queen, you know, all those, the standard stuff, you know. But yeah, I love all that stuff. Mostly rock music. Elton John, you know, Apple Music or Spotify. Now, I just use Apple Music because I'm an iPhone user and it's right there, you know, it's easier for me. Spotify, I've used a free trial before, I think, but I don't know, I'm just not really into Spotify. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think I like Apple Music more just because it's like, it's literally connected to my phone. Like, it's literally, I know Spotify is like very similar, but I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, I don't know what's better. You guys tell me. I mean, I've heard from people that Spotify might be better. I don't know. I mean, Joe Rogan's podcast is on there. You know, the new one with Bill Burr. I want to listen to that, but it's on there only, so I might just get it for that. Favorite musical score? The Blade Runner score, because Vangelis is a genius, and that's my favorite movie. Yeah. All right, JLL. We have 3. Oh no, wait. How many questions? Hold on. 4 questions. Okay, number 1. Have you got the Weekend After Hours special holograph CD, and maybe vinyl too, that I asked about in your Paris Use Me vinyl unboxing video? I actually did buy the After Hours CD eventually, just because I was at Target one day and I saw it, and I'm like, all right, I might as well buy it now because I have all his other CDs. I have the Target exclusive alternate cover. It's not like a special. It's just an alternate cover. It's the one with him, like, looking down. Like, yeah. Yeah, so I don't have a holograph CD or the vinyl. I want to get it on vinyl, though, because After Hours is awesome. Are you planning on ranking J. Cole albums and maybe Kendrick Lamar too? I'm a big fan of J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Those two guys are probably my favorite, like, hip-hop / rap artists, you know, today. I used to be such a huge J. Cole fan, like, you wouldn't believe it. I did see him in concert too, which is cool. I have a few of those clips on my channel from years ago if you want to check it out. This is back in 2015. It was the Forest Hills Drive tour. I was lucky enough to be, you know, at one of those shows, which was also at West Palm Beach, the same venue, actually, as Warped Tour. Same year. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. Just a couple months apart. Actually, it might have been the same month. Because I remember that year I went to... Warped Tour was in... I think it might have been in July. It was on the 4th of July. I remember this. It was on the 4th of July, yeah. And then J. Cole played in, I think, August. And I also saw Kid Rock randomly there. And in the same time period. I think it might have been July also. I went to that venue a lot that year. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar, great artist. I should rank those albums. I have all of them. I should. That's a good idea, actually, because I ranked the Weeknd's albums. All right, I'm going to do that. Thank you for giving me an idea. Are you going to do an updated CD collection, as you did get quite a lot of CDs from 2016-18? Not a whole lot, though. I like your CD collection video from 2016. Thank you. Yeah, I noticed. You're very into CDs here. I stopped getting CDs ever since I... you know, started getting Apple Music. For the longest time, I was, like, against streaming for some reason. I was like, oh, I like having a library on my phone that takes up half the space on my phone. Yeah, like, what I would used to do, I would buy albums and then just, you know, download the songs and put them on my phone. It would take up a ton of space. But, yeah, I was just all about, yeah, man, I like having a collect. It's sort of like having physical media. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, you make it harder for yourself. But, yeah, streaming is much easier, streaming music. Like, it's only $5 a month if you're a college student, so, you know, that's not that much money. So I stopped buying CDs, really. I mean, if I do an updated collection, there's not that much new stuff I got. Like, honestly, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'd be worth it, but, maybe, who knows. Do you like Frank Ocean, Khalid, Halsey, and Travis Scott? I really don't listen to any of those guys, but, I did see Halsey. It's actually my third biggest video on my channel. If you look at it, it's kind of funny. I was at a Youngblood concert, and he's a really good artist. I went with my sister to that. She was a big fan of his, and that's the reason I went. She needed somebody to go with her, you know, and she needed a ride. So I went. I was like, all right, let me check out the Youngblood guy. And I listened to a lot of his, you know, his hits, and they're really good. He's a really good artist. And we saw his show, and it was awesome. And then at the end, Halsey did a surprise appearance, which is crazy, because Halsey's like a huge artist. Like, Youngblood's pretty popular, but she's like, you know, like A-lister pretty much. And she showed up at this small venue that was in, where was it? It was in Fort Lauderdale, I think, South Florida. The Culture Room, if you guys know that place. I've been there a couple times, too. I miss concerts so much. I used to go to concerts all the time. But Halsey did a surprise appearance, and they sang that song, 11 Minutes, which was from 13 Reasons Why, I think. I don't know. I don't watch that show. But it was so cool. I didn't know the words or anything, but I was just, like, filming. I'm like, all right, might as well film it. But Halsey's cool. I like her. I've listened to a few of her things. But these other guys, nah. I know Frank Ocean has that album, Blonde, which is supposed to be good. And Travis Scott's really popular. I don't know. I just don't listen to those guys. I'm not big on hip-hop or rap, really. Nothing against it. It's just not, like, my thing. Tanner Productions. Will you ever rank the Jurassic Park / World films? That is another ranking that's so obvious that I've never thought to do. I should actually do that. Yes, I will. The thing is, I need to rewatch them because Jurassic Park: The Lost World I haven't watched in a long time. Same with Jurassic Park 3. And then the newest movie, Fallen Kingdom, I've only watched that once. So, yeah, I need to rewatch, you know, all those I mentioned. But the first one's the best, like, for sure. That's not even a question. Manny Munoz, do you watch the Flick Pick, John Flickinger? He's good friends with Chris Stuckman. Yes, I used to be such a huge fan of his. I'm still subscribed to his 2 channels. He doesn't really upload that much, unfortunately, anymore, compared to what he used to do. But yeah, I used to be such a huge fan of him. He's so funny. And he's sort of like one of those cool guys that, like, similar to me, like, he's like a nerd and he's into all this nerd stuff, but he goes to the gym and he's buff, you know. He was inspired by Bane from Dark Knight Rises. He always talks about that in his videos, to get in really good shape. And that was also one of the things that kind of motivated me to start going to the gym back in the day. Will you rank more horror franchises? I should. Now, the thing is, again, I need to rewatch. Like, I should do Friday the 13th, actually, because I went through that box set like it was nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I went through that thing really good. Yes, I need to do that. Have you seen Borat, Culture Learn, blah, 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 the second movie? Or is that the first one? No, I actually never seen Borat, the first one or the second one. I need to, though, because it's supposed to be funny, right? Atomic Dagger. I have more questions. I know I literally have 8 questions, but I have 3 more questions. Oh, did you leave 8 questions? You have a separate comment, probably? I haven't gotten to it yet, sorry. What is your favorite movie series? Who is your least favorite movie director? What do you think about the Marvel Disney Plus shows? Okay, now this comment was before the big announcements, right? With all the Disney Plus shows that started getting announced, like the Armor Wars and Secret Invasion, and oh my god, they announced so many things. It was crazy. I'm so excited for those, and I do like that they're doing that, because you can tell longer stories with episodes, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a cool thing, and they have the money for it, you know, because the way the Mandalorian's going, and it's awesome, and it's going to be a really cool thing, like, you know, I'm totally excited about those. What is your least favorite movie director? I don't know if I have a least favorite, but, like, I don't know. Who is not a good director? I don't know. Trying to think. Is there, like, somebody I don't like? I mean, everybody makes fun of, like, Michael Bay, you know? I don't know. I guess I'll just say Michael Bay, because I was such a huge Transformers fan when I was a kid, and that series is crazy. Like, I like the first movie, it's okay, but they just got so ridiculous. Michael Bay he's just a crazy man. I'm just gonna say Michael Bay. I mean, I don't really have anything serious against him, but that's the only thing I can think of. Like, I'm looking at my collection here to think of somebody. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna say Michael Bay. That's the easy answer. Favorite movie series? I mean, I might just say the MCU, because it's huge. I mean, yeah, it's unlike anything else, really. I mean, I like a lot of series, but I might just say MCU, honestly, because I'm just such a fan of it, yeah. And it's the most successful thing ever, so, you know. Sarah B. Blackburn. Hi, my question is, what is your favorite Chucky kill? Favorite Chucky look? And what is your scene from Chucky movie? P.S. Chucky says hi. Okay. I like it. There's very weird wording here. What is your scene from Chucky movies? What? What is your favorite scene, maybe? Okay, so favorite Chucky kill, favorite look, and favorite scene. Favorite look is probably Child's Play 1, believe it or not. I don't know what it is. I feel like, even though it was the first movie, it still holds up. Like, the effects, like, they're still really good. And the look of the doll was really good, too. Like, I don't know what it is. Something about the way he looked. Like, especially towards the end of the movie. Like, he looked really cool. Bride of Chucky 2 was the best look for the Stitches, I think. But I think Child's Play 1 had the best looking Chucky, probably. With the voodoo knife, you know, my favorite Chucky weapon. Favorite kill? Man, I never really thought about that. I mean, the iconic... probably the most iconic Chucky kill is in Child's Play 2. Actually, there's 2 in Child's Play 2 that are arguably the most iconic. The one with the ruler, you know, at the teeth, Miss Kettleman. Or Kettlewell, whatever her name was. Sorry, I'm thinking of Better Call Saul, the Kettlemans. And then also the guy at the factory, he gets the eye socket, the eyes put in his sockets. That's a good kill too. I'm trying to think of all the kills though. Oh, Child's Play 3. It's such a corny one-liner, but when he slashes the guy's neck and he's like, "Presto, you're dead," you know, the barber, that just makes me laugh out loud. It's so funny. Yeah, I love Chucky. He's so funny. Probably Presto, You're Dead, because it just makes me laugh out loud. It's it's such a ridiculous scene because the guy's gonna go cut his hair and it's a doll, and then he gets his throat slashed by a doll. I don't know what it is. It's so funny, and it's it's Andy Robinson from Hellraiser and Dirty Harry. Cool character actor. Yeah, that scene is so funny. And then you asked me what's my favorite scene. Honestly, it might be Presto, You're Dead. Like, I don't know. Let me give a different answer. Actually, it's probably the end of Child's Play 1. Like, the very end, when Andy is looking at Chucky. No, Chucky gets shot in the heart. It's like the perfect ending to the first movie. Chucky gets killed, and he says, "Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?" And, like, the doll voice comes back, and then he dies. It's like a perfect death for the character. And then Andy's looking at him sad, and he walks out, and it's like it's a emotionally heavy ending. Like, it actually really is. It's the only time in the whole series, if you ask me, that really has like an impact like on you emotionally. I don't know. I sort of feel that way about it now. Like, back in the day, I never really felt affected by it, but now when I watch it, I really feel something. I'm like, man, this poor kid. And then it plays that awesome theme at the end, on the end credits. The underrated theme from the first Child's Play movie that, never got used again. Yeah, that's probably my favorite scene in the whole series. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry, but I see you in my comments all the time. By the way, I know you have multiple accounts. I'm not gonna, go on about that, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, you guys probably are like, what? I know what you're doing. Anyways, well, you don't have to answer all of these, but if you do pick one to answer, I'd really appreciate it. What do you think of Denis Villeneuve? Can you rank all of his movies? What do you think of 2001? What is your favorite actor / actress? Your favorite comedy? Favorite comedy is probably Superbad, because it's just it's so relatable. Like, honestly, every guy in high school, you relate to that movie in some way. It's either Superbad or I consider Evil Dead 2 a comedy. Evil Dead 2 is hilarious. Superbad. I'm just gonna say Superbad. Favorite actor / actress. I've always said Clint Eastwood is my favorite actor. Favorite all around. He makes good movies and he also acts great. I would say Ryan Gosling is a really good actor. I don't necessarily have a favorite, but I would say, probably Clint Eastwood. He's awesome. What do you think of 2001? 2001's amazing, but you can't watch it all the time because it's such a, you have to be in the right mood to watch that, and it's very slow paced, but it's really good. It's very artsy, so you can kind of get, lost in it. But I love all the stuff involving Hal. I think it's really terrifying, actually. I think it's really well done. Hal 9000. What do you think of Denis Villeneuve? He was a master. Like, he is so good at making these large-scale movies, but I haven't seen a lot of them. Like, I have Sicario, I haven't watched it. I have Arrival, but I haven't watched it. You know what I mean? I haven't seen Enemy. I haven't seen, a lot of his stuff. But Blade Runner 2049 is amazing, and Dune looks spectacular. I want to see that in Dolby, but it's not coming out, for a while. It's going to be on HBO Max, which I don't think he's happy about. But hopefully when theaters are open at the same time as that, the release date, I will try to see that in Dolby. I have to. I don't know much about Dune, but I want to see that movie. My good friend Aaron, wannabe comedy. Here are my questions, the most important ones people are dying to know. Are you, so excited for the cinematic achievement, which is The Boss Baby 2? And what do you think the IMAX experience will be like when you watch it, period? He is so confident that I'm going to do that. I have never even seen the first Boss Baby, and I can't tell you the amount of times he's asked me to do a movie reaction to it. That video will come someday, I promise. Yes, I just need to, figure out when to do it, what the occasion would be. It's going to be a surprise, maybe. I don't know. Do you realize that all your subscribers cried when you didn't do a Boss Baby 2 trailer reaction and in-depth analysis? I haven't even seen the trailer. I just saw a picture of it, being advertised somewhere, on a website or something. That was it. I'm like, oh, they're making a second one. Okay. Anyways, 3, guess what? Do you got games on your phone? Chicken butt. Alright, I do have some games on my phone. Among Us is awesome. Matthew Castellanos. Oh, there's you again. You could have put all your questions in one comment. Were you surprised that the Heat made it to the finals? Oh, yeah. Not a huge basketball fan, but I do like the Heat. Yes, I was surprised, because it's been 5 years, 6. What was the last time they were in the finals? Was when they won. They won in 2013 and 14, or was it 12 and 13? I'm getting my years mixed up. I think 14 might have been the last time they were in the finals. So it was like a good 6 years. And Jimmy Butler, oh man, he's awesome. He was a great asset to the team. If it wasn't for him, you know, yeah, he definitely would have got MVP if they won. Yeah, that was crazy. I thought that was so cool. I mean, I'm happy for the Lakers to win because of what happened with Kobe. But, you know, and LeBron, you know, LeBron is definitely right now the best player. You know, that might be a controversial thing, but he is. I'm sorry. Riley Gentry, do you like Blink-182? Do you like Paramore? What is your favorite Blink-182 song? What's your favorite Paramore song? Okay, I love Paramore, but I'm not really into Blink-182 that much. I'm not like a huge fan of that. They're a good band, but I'm not so into the punk, you know, scene, whatever. I'm not really into that music that much. I have a few of their songs. I don't know if I have a favorites. I don't know. Paramore, though, I love. Probably Still Into You, Hard Times, I know that's a recent one, Crush, 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 Brick by Boring Brick, what's the one, their, like, iconic one, what's the name of it, I'm totally drawing a blank on it, never left the man, 'cause I got it where I want it now, oh, what if I get, like, demonetized for that? What's the name of that song? Guys, it feels so good. You know, that song, their, like, main hit. I'm literally gonna Google this. Paramore, popular songs. Which one is it? Oh, Misery Business. Duh, yeah. Probably Misery Business is my favorite, because that's, like, their essential song, right? Matthew, again, have you decided to get a PS5 or Xbox Series X? I already answered this. Just rewind. Vegan Gays, I like that name, that's funny. Though they are also my favorite band, why do you think Paris are your favorite band? I've also talked about this before. They just have, like, such a cool, especially the first two albums, because that's when I fell in love with them, was the first two albums. The third album's very different in terms of, like, the style and everything, you know? They still sound great. But the first two albums had such a, like, cool, dark, weird aesthetic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, black and white, you know, it was just, it was so me. Like, I never fell in love with a band and, like, everything was so me. Like, I don't know what it is. It was just, everything about them was so cool, I thought. I was like, wow, this band is, like, perfect for me to, like, be a fan of. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just really like it. I think it's cool. Yeah, they're just, Lynn is a genius, you know. Wannabe comedy, again, Aaron, live stream, home skill. I need to do more live streams. Yes, I agree with you. I might do another one soon. Robert George, top 30 movies. It's funny that you say top 30 movies because I have videos about that. I made them a couple years ago. My top 30 favorite movies. It's 3 videos separately. I talk about 10 movies in each one. Excuse me. Yeah, just look at my channel. I made that a long time ago. I'm not going to say them all right here, but, you know, you can go look at them. Gail Ramirez, I have questions. 11 questions. Okay, let me try to answer all these. Will you review The Mandalorian Season 2? I'm not big on doing reviews, per se. Like, I would do movie reviews on Thursday night showings after I see the movie, but that hasn't happened in a long time. But I'm not big on doing reviews, necessarily. I used to do reactions also, but I sort of stopped doing that. I'm really thinking about doing a reaction to the finale, because the finale is going to be crazy. It's just going to be. And the last episode with Bill Burr was amazing. Every episode's been amazing. But I'm really strongly considering doing a reaction. And also the Marvel shows on Disney+. I might do reaction videos to those. I don't know yet. We'll see. I might do it. Are you excited for the Batman, the Suicide Squad, and Snyder Cut of Justice League? I'm excited for all those. Justice League being my least, because I didn't like, you know, the movie. I'm sure this one's going to be better. But there's just too much drama. There is way too much drama with Joss Whedon and all that. Oh my god, I'm getting sick of hearing about it, honestly. I'm more excited for the Suicide Squad, though, because James Gunn's take looks awesome from what we've seen so far. It's going to be like a cool, cartoony crazy movie, and apparently people are gonna die, like big deaths. Batman with Robert Pattinson, I am totally excited for that. But mostly Suicide Squad for me. I'm more of a fan of that. What do you think of Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina in MCU Spider-Man 3? I'm excited. Did you watch the Star Wars Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels? I've never watched Rebels. I watched a majority of Clone Wars, but I was sort of losing interest. I want to give it another chance again, though, because Mandalorian, you know, everything going on. I need to watch Rebels. I need to watch all of Clone Wars. I need to, you know, learn everything. I need to learn about Grand Admiral Thrawn, for example. What do you think of the Star Wars sequel trilogy? I've got movie reviews. You know, I've got unboxings for the movies. I've talked about them. The sequel trilogy is good, I think, for the most part. I know there's a lot of backlash with it. I know Disney didn't really plan it out that well, or should I say Lucasfilm. And John Boyega, especially, has been very outspoken about that. But I like Force Awakens is a solid, good movie. Last Jedi, solid, good movie, but I have a few problems with it. And then Rise of Skywalker, solid, good movie. Probably a few problems with it too, but yeah, I don't really dislike them that much. As a lot, you know, a lot of people really dislike them, but yeah, it's kind of a weird mess. The prequels, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm really appreciating the prequels a lot more because of, you know, all the stuff, like Hayden Christensen coming back as Darth Vader. Like, I can't believe I'm so excited for that. Like, a lot of people are, you know what I mean? Like, it's this weird reversal happening. I think I might like the prequels. I mean, I still hate Episode 2, like Attack of the Clones. I think it's trash. But, you know, it's done a lot for the Star Wars series, you know, in terms of, like, setting up the clones and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is a legitimately great movie. Like, it just is. Phantom Menace is hit or miss for me. But, I mean, the prequels overall, I think I enjoyed that more than the sequel trilogy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that entire world of the prequels. Yeah. So, original trilogy it's never, ever going to be topped. You know, these other movies don't even come close to it. The prequels and the sequels. They don't come close to the original at all. The original trilogy. But I think I like the prequels a little more than the sequels. I can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't know. What do you think about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, the Bad Batch show, and the Ashoka show? I'm excited for all of them. Bad Batch, I need to watch Clone Wars, you know, all the way through. Kenobi show is probably the one I'm more excited for because that's a crazy thing. Ahsoka, you know, I know her, but not all the way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never watched Rebels or finished Clone Wars. And I heard the last season of Clone Wars was really good earlier this year. So, yeah, I need to, yeah, Kenobi, I'm so excited for that. I'm surprised they're calling it Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, I thought it would just be called Kenobi, you know, colon something. You know what I mean? It's just called Obi-Wan Kenobi. Will you do different ranks, like your favorite movies, favorite horror, action, drama, comic? I might do those. That sounds like doing genres, you know? What do you think about the Chucky show for Sci-Fi? I really hope. It's going to be on Sci-Fi and USA, right? It's going to be on 2 channels? I think USA is the other one. I really hope it's somehow rated R or TVMA, you know, like they could censor stuff for the TV version, and then on the Blu-ray it's uncensored. Like, it needs to be rated R. Like, I'm sorry, you can't have Chucky not say the F word or whatever, you know what I mean? It's got to be like Ash vs. Evil Dead. That was on Stars, you know, so they're allowed to do what they want, but yes, it needs to be rated R. Will you rank the Batman or Superman movies? I need to get to those. I just haven't watched them in a very long time. Like the Christopher Reeve, the Michael Keaton, you know, the old stuff. I need to rewatch those. Have you seen the Watchman TV show? No, but I want to, because I hear it's great. Do you have any unpopular opinions? Do I have any unpopular? I think I don't think I do. Unpopular opinions. No, I don't think I do. I know I've mentioned a long time ago, I watched The Lost Boys, you know, the vampire movie. And it's supposed to be this great movie. I remember I watched it, like, I mean, I was younger. I was probably like 15 or 16. And I was like, what? That movie wasn't that good. I remember that was like a hot take, but I don't know. Oh, I guess this is an unpopular opinion. I think Birds of Prey is a spectacular movie. and I'm not even joking around. Yeah, I actually get mad when people don't like that movie. I know, it's kind of weird, because I think it's such a cool thing. I've talked about it a lot before. Just go watch my recent, my DCEU ranking I did back in April, I think, whatever that was. I talk about why I'm in love with Birds of Prey so much, and why I think it gets such a bad rap that it doesn't deserve. Next question. Macho Nacho, favorite Pixar movie, worst movie ever? Will you rank Christopher Nolan? I'm so excited to watch Tenet tomorrow, and my order better be at the store tomorrow. If it's not, I'm going to be mad. That Steelbook looks amazing. Somebody had a picture of it somewhere, like in hand, and it looks cool. I will rank Christopher Nolan once I watch all his movies. I haven't seen Insomnia, I haven't seen The Prestige, and I haven't seen Tenet. So, yeah. Worst movie ever. My go-to is Batman and Robin, but that's everybody's go-to, I guess. I don't really have a worst movie ever. I don't know. Batman and Robin. Favorite Pixar movie. When I was a kid, I would say A Bug's Life, because I thought that movie was so underrated. It still is. But I've grown to realize that Toy Story 2 is a perfect movie, and that's my answer. Can't change my mind. Porter Unboxing. Are you a wrestling fan? Yes, in fact, if you've been on my channel for a long time, I used to do WWE pay-per-view reactions. Like, literally, every pay-per-view, I would do multiple match reactions, and I have a full playlist if you want to check it out. But unfortunately, a lot of them are getting taken down because they include the audio or whatever from the matches, so they get removed. So a lot of the videos I did are getting removed, unfortunately. But I don't really watch it as much anymore because it's not as good anymore. The recent thing I watched was Undertaker Survivor Series, his retirement thing. It was a little bit underwhelming for me. Like, I thought it would be a little better, but I did like it for the most part. I like the Paul Bearer hologram thing. That was cool. It was a little too simple for me, though. But yes, I still keep up with everything. Like, I know, I'm aware of Stings and AEW. I've never watched AEW, but I'm keeping up with all the news. Like, I see on social media all the time what's going on. So even if I'm not watching, I know what's happening. And I'll check out pay-per-views once in a while. Like, I watched WrestleMania this year. It was entertaining. You know, it was different, but what can you do? No crowd. Yeah, I keep up with all of it. I just, no, I'm not, it's not worth me, you know, reacting anymore. Like, I totally lost interest, you know, in terms of that. But yeah, I've been a fan forever. Like, I'm always going to be a fan no matter what. Like, you know, I'm always going to be a fan of pro wrestling no matter what. But WWE is, the quality right now is, it's a little, but yeah, ever since 2006, that's when I first really got into it. Last one here, Atomic Dagger. Here are the 8 questions I missed earlier. Okay. Last one. Have you seen Cobra Kai? And if you have, what are your thoughts? It's on Netflix if you want to check it out. I really want to. I've seen the original Karate Kid. I'm not a huge fan of Karate Kid, but the show is supposed to be really good. If you are a Star Trek fan, can you please rank all the movies? I'm not really a Star Trek fan. I've seen the J.J. Abrams first movie, and I have the other 2 new ones, but I haven't watched them. Like, I've had them for a long time, and I haven't watched them. I've seen a little bit of the original series, like the Tribble episode. You know, the little hairy guys, the Tribbles. I watched that episode. I watched the Arena episode, the famous one. It's called Arena, isn't it? Where William Shatner's fighting the creature by the Vasquez Rocks or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? No, I'm not really into Star Trek. I appreciate it, though. I think it's a cool thing. Next Generation, I've seen a little bit of that, too. It's just not my thing. I don't know. What is the worst movie you've ever seen? That's my thing. I never know how to answer that. Batman and Robin. I don't know. I don't really have any movies I hate. Like, yeah, I don't know. What is your favorite Netflix original show or movie? Okay, well, I guess you could say The Irishman is a Netflix original, isn't it? It was put on Netflix. If not, then El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. The show, though, I was a huge fan of Orange is the New Black. I never finished it, though. I only watched the first 5 seasons. I need to watch the rest. What's another one? Stranger Things is really good, too. Tiger King was awesome this year. I love that. The The Queen's Gambit, I recently watched that. That was really good. But, yeah, overall, I'd probably say Orange is the New Black just because I was such a huge fan of that. Like, the first 2 seasons in particular. I think the second season was a little better from what I remember. But, yeah, I need to finish it. I haven't seen the rest. Can you please rank the Friday the 13th movies? I will definitely do that at some point. Probably it'll be on a Friday the 13th. What are your opinions on the Animaniacs reboots? I haven't watched it yet. I've heard mixed things. A lot of controversy surrounding Johnny Depp, apparently. I don't know. I just need to watch it. Yeah, I was so excited for it at first, but, you know, I don't know. It's just okay, here's my thing. Certain old cartoons, you know, they have that old school feel to them, and then when they become modernized and they look clean and, you know, the animation's nice, I don't know. It just feels better when it's older. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird, right? Certain things just need to stay in the past. I don't know. I think it's cool that it came back, though. Yeah. Who would you pick as the new X-Men for the MCU? You mean like the actors? I really don't know that, but the certain characters. I know Cyclops deserves to be, you know, much more prominent. Wolverine's going to be prominent, obviously. You know, the essentials. You know, Jean Grey. I hope they do a proper Phoenix thing. Storm, Rogue, Professor X, you know, all the main guys. Yeah, just Cyclops in particular, though, needs to be more present. Last question. I'm losing my voice here because I'm talking so much. What do you think of the Chucky TV series on Sci-Fi? Oh, I answered that already. But I'm excited. Anyways, Jesus Christ, 56 minutes. Oh, man, I'm sorry, guys. Didn't know it was going to be this long. Anyways, thank you for watching this whole thing, if you did. And, yeah, I need to drink some water right now. Anyways, thank you, and Tenet unboxing tomorrow, hopefully. Excuse me. That's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.